Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's 1 Million by 1 Million Strategy Roundtable for Entrepreneurs. This is one of our free public roundtables, and the mission of 1M1M, as you might know already, is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual revenue, build $1 trillion of global GDP and 10 million jobs. This is our 225th roundtable, so this forum has been going on for quite a long time, and thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs have been here, and I hope you're finding it useful. We will have the recording available after the session. If you are following us on Twitter, or if you would like to follow us on Twitter, our Twitter handles are 1M by 1M at Sramana, and then if you're live tweeting this today, please use hashtag 1M1M. The recording will be available at our YouTube channel, 1M1M Roundtables, and if you go there, you will find recordings of a lot of previous sessions. Now, after we are done with the presentations by the people who have sent in their slides in advance, we will also have an opportunity for you to call in and ask questions if you'd like, or discuss any issue that you would like to discuss. I will put the slide up later when we are ready for that part of the conversation. At any rate, we're going to start with Rob Diefendorf, and Rob is dialing from Hong Kong. Rob, please unmute your line and tell us what you're working on.
Okay, Sramana, and hello, everybody. So first slide, it's just me. I'm Rob from living in Hong Kong now, and I've been here working in the property business for 7 years. Before that, I was a music teacher in Princeton, New Jersey for a long time. And working in Hong Kong, I've noticed a lot of market pain, and the market here is very different from the U.S. One of the main differences, it does not have a multiple listing system, so there's no central database, and that causes a logic chain of huge problems all the way down the line. And so I've thought of various ideas. Obviously, the holy grail would be to have a multiple listing system, but I've never been able to figure that out. I don't know if it's culturally possible. But there's different ways to exploit it, and this is one of the ideas that I've come up with. And so next slide, please. I guess I'll just jump in. The customers for this idea are basically the two sides of any property market, which are the people who want property and the people who have property. So in Hong Kong, you have people who are investors locally, investors from around the globe, renters, and people just buying to occupy. There's no capital gains tax here, so people come from all over to buy property, and it's infrastructure is still not ripe, so it's a very exciting market. And of course, the people who have the stock are the agents, the developers, the owners, and funds. Next slide, please. So basically, very briefly, the concept is very easy and simple. It's kind of like almost like Airbnb, or even more precisely, it's almost like a dating site where you go on, if you're looking for a house, and you go on, you open an account, and I'll show an account page later that was done by a web designer. And you have a little photo of yourself, and you talk about yourself a little bit, and then you leave your requirements of what you need. And the agent goes on and leaves a little photo of him or herself and talks about what their specialty is, and then they browse through those requirements, and I have a browsing page later on. And the agent goes on and very intelligently and in a very targeted way sends listings to the buyer or the renter, and then the buyer or renter will contact the agent or the owner. Next slide, please. Thanks. So the value propositions are that the market pains in Hong Kong are no multiple listing system. If you're a property seeker, it's very difficult to find a comprehensive place to look at everything that's on the market. And even after you've bought or rented, you will never know if that was the best place for you. You have to go to different neighborhoods. If you want to look in neighborhood X or neighborhood Y, you have to get in a taxi and go there because the agencies here, in order to have market presence, open shops all over, and it's almost comical. So the huge agencies here sometimes have 4 or 5 agencies on even one block because they're just so desperate to have market presence. The agencies that you go to will only know the neighborhood around them. They've worked there sometimes 20 or 30 years, and they'll only know those few streets around. They won't know any other neighborhood, and they won't know other agents in the other neighborhoods. Many of the agents here are only high school graduates or not even. It was a Wild West industry up until 20 years ago, and so even their mentors were not trained well. It was very unprofessional. There's no training, no oversight, and if you walk in, a lot of them are giggling and having fun and not really even paying attention to the customers. And it's an overall fragmented, very unsophisticated environment, incredibly challenging, incredibly confusing, and people are constantly complaining about it. Next slide, please. Thanks. The other side of the coin is people who have the stock, and there are also very, very professional, very, very smart people in the business here. I should say that too. And the people who have the stock, the agents and the owners, have a lot of pain for the same reasons, is that they are living in a fragmented environment and they don't have exposure to United Front, like a multiple listing system. And so, well, let me start from the beginning. A year and a half ago, we've had government cooling measures because they thought there was a bubble here, which there really wasn't actually. But the transactions have been eviscerated. There's no transactions. It's like SARS level back in 2003. So you have 30,000 agents all chasing the same dollar, and there's fewer and fewer clients. I didn't put this on the slide, but the government is incredibly irresponsible. They keep adding thousands of agents every year in order to have marketing for developers. The agents have no street presence. The agents that don't have street presence, they don't have a shop, for example. It's difficult for them to get people coming in off the street, obviously. Agents who have a shop on the street are usually limited to that geographical focus. Vendors, they're not living in the digital age. When they use the internet here, they just simply have websites that put their listings out there, and most of the listings are dead. Again, there's no multiple listing system, so they're just, imagine 30,000 agents just spraying their listings out into the ether. So many duplicate listings, so many dead listings. So this would be a proactive way for them to market. Next slide, please. Basically, very quickly on this one, some kind of cool, fun stuff that would be side effects for this is that you'd have pre-transaction data, which we don't have here. So you would see neighborhoods trending before they actually trended. You get percentage scores. I won't be able to show that, but you'll get profiles for the agents and for the property seekers, so you'll be able to quantify your instincts about the other parties and various other data manipulations. Next slide, please. These are two, I don't know if you can see it, but on the left is the account page that the property seeker will open, and you'll see their picture, a few words about themselves, their requirements, and then a profile completeness. Did they have a complete profile? And then a rating of agents who have dealt with them. Are they easy to deal with? And on the right is the browsing page, so you'll have just a list of people leaving their requirements and their photos, and if you like them, you can click on it and go deeper into that. Next slide, thank you. So basically, I didn't quantify this too much, and so this falls under the category of I'm not really prepared for this slide, but just basically these are different ways to slice the market. Is it expat? Is it local Chinese? Is it foreign direct investor? Are they renters of certain ages? Are they buyers, self-occupiers, serial investors? I've had guys here owning 50 flats. Is it different sectors like office or industrial? Is it all cash or is it financing? Amazing amount of cash buyers here. Are they vendors, agents, landlords, management companies, or funds in terms of holders of stock? And are they just people who like property? Actually, it's one of the hugest industries here, and a lot of people just very interested in it. And then are they just arrived, or are they very savvy? Next slide, thanks. And so I've actually done more research than is reflected here, but I'm not very sophisticated in this phase of the project, so I'll just sum up by saying I've talked to a lot of people on both sides. I talked to heads of firms here. I know a lot of agents who own large agencies, and I know several fund runners who are very famous fund directors. And they all like the idea, and a lot of these agents and owners of agencies have said that they would use it for themselves and for their company. In terms of the people who seek property, I've just spoken to a lot of people, and they've all said that they would be interested. Customer acquisition, I'm not a marketing expert, and I haven't worked too much with marketers on this because I don't have much of a budget. But I've had some people say they have some cool ways to do it. You guys have heard about it, I'm sure. Anything that I say you already know about, but these are some ways that they've talked about. Next slide, thanks. And so basically, I would love feedback on my biggest problem is to get a team together. And I've worked with 3 different business models: one hiring people, which fell through; one working with an investor and fell through; and one working with a partner, and that fell through. I don't have a budget, and I would love to have a team. And I'd love to have a project manager who answers to me but manages the other people. And I'd love feedback on customer validation and customer acquisition. So those are my wish lists. I know that's probably impossible, but go ahead and talk. Thank you. Thanks for listening.
If you do not have a budget, then typically people who do not have a budget have to do everything themselves. You cannot have the cake and eat it too, right? That's the law of life. That's not just the law of business, it's the law of life. So what are the ways in which you can actually afford to do things without having a budget? You can potentially have a partner who's willing to work for equity. Or you have to shell out money so that you can hire, you can basically outsource and get to what we call a minimum viable product and get things going. So you're not at a stage where investors would want to work with you, and you're not at a stage where you can hire expensive people. So you can't, if you really want to do this, then you're going to have to either figure out something from your savings or whatever. You have to figure out some amount of money, or from friends and family. You have to figure out some amount of money with which you can get a minimum viable product developed and so that you can get the business up and running. Or you're going to need to find a partner who's willing to work for equity and who knows how to do all this stuff.
Right.
And who will most likely not be a project manager who's going to be answerable to you. Who's going to be a partner.
So what are good? I should say that I will have a modicum budget. I'll probably have about 5,000 to 10,000 US, but that's practically negligible. That'll be enough to build the site over here. But go ahead. I was going to ask another question, but go ahead.
Rob, can I speak?
Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
$5,000 is plenty to get a minimum viable product developed and get the site up and running.
Okay. So what advice would you have on choosing people? I'll just leave that as an open question. It sounds naive, but I've been having trouble with it. So
only place where you want to hire people who will work at those price points are the services exchanges like Odesk and Elance. And there are thousands and thousands of developers there. You have to look at their ratings and do reference checking and so forth, interview people, find somebody who has the right skill set, post a project and work there.
Okay, and what about any customer acquisition strategies that are kind of, just any advice at all on that, or is that something I should hire somebody to talk about? Or?
So, Rob, my absolute clean advice to you, and a lot of people at your stage of the game who don't really know how to build a business, is to use 1M to learn. That's why we're doing this program. There are many, many, many millions of people like you who have never started a business before. You don't know how to start a business. You don't know any of these basics of how to get a business up and running. And that's why we're here. We are here to teach you do all that. So it's not possible for me to teach you how to acquire customers in 3 minutes, right? It's too big a topic to teach you from scratch in 3 minutes. But that's something that we teach in the program. So if you hang on, I will explain to you later on in the session how we work with entrepreneurs. And we deal with thousands of entrepreneurs who are in your shoes, who are trying to learn how to start a business. That's basically what we do. Okay? Let me go through the rest of the presentations with the entrepreneurs, and then we'll come back and discuss how we work with entrepreneurs.
Okay.
All right, so is Masba Ahmed on the call? No, okay. Suresh, you're up next.
Yeah. Yeah, good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, ma'am. Basically, we are a garment exporters, and I'm in this state for last 30 years. And we have been ambition of going with the own products, with the brand labels and the banners. When you say the brand name and the banner, can we just go for the next slide, ma'am? Yeah. We call as the business plans actually, where we have a planning, confidence and challenge, and the risk management, and the last is the vote of thanks actually. So the planning, next slide, ma'am. The planning, the objective is that the main cause is the right side, the retail edge. The retail, we wants to go with the branding, chain stores and shop in shop and e-commerce. The e-commerce is the one of the top leading industry which has been focusing well. As you know, Amazon.com is the top level. The same e-commerce which has been going on into the India in the bigger level with their own brands. So the same thing, it comes with the shop and shop. Shop and shop is the one of the concept where where the bigger stores are there, where we go and put our own brands labels onto the shop, and we just give them a percentage of the markdowns. And the chain store is the basic core of the business of the retail. When we talk about the chain stores, we talk about the brandings.
Okay, let me try to understand what you guys do, and let me help the audience understand what you do. So, what do? You export clothing from India to foreign retailers? Is that what you're saying you do?
Yes, we do exports. We do the made-to orders like a JCPenney, a Gap, or Ralph Lauren. Anybody place the orders, but we are not up to their complaints level. Factories we do not have. But just I'm giving you the examples. It's not a JCPenney.
Have clients though, right?
Yeah.
JCPenney may not be placing orders with you, but you do have clients placing order with you or not?
Yes, we have orders placing. We have importers from New York. We have from UK, from the different places from the country.
Okay. And what kind of merchandise do you export?
We do all on the stock lots. We do everything. Like you talk about a ladies' western wear. You talk about a men's kids, anything. On the made to the order, it is based on the tech pack, what the buyer gives, what they need. Based on that one, we do on the made to order.
How big
this is the present business which, sorry.
How big is your business?
In the terms of value or your terms of the...
In terms of revenues.
Sorry, come again.
How much money do you make? How much revenue do you make?
We normally talk on the turnovers. We say like we have done already $2 billion in the last year. That is the India counts in the March to April. That is the 13 and 14. We have done about $2 billion US. And upcoming
$2
million, not billion, million M.
$2 million US. Okay, all right.
Yes, yeah. So the main core is that we want to come up with our own brands, because the shelter, cloth and the food is the most ongoing things. So the branding and the banner which we are looking to do, this is the main core of the objective of the project actually.
Do you have the expertise to do business with your own brand? That's a very different expertise. Design and marketing of a brand is a very different expertise than what you have been doing so far. Do you have that expertise?
No, I have my own expertise, plus I have a full team of the people with people who are working with me.
Yeah, but expertise is not people, random people. Of course you have people working with you. You're running a $2 million business. Of course you have people, but do you have the right expertise to actually take a brand to market?
Yes, obviously. We have just had a tie-up with the Italian company where to do the designing part. And the marketing, we have a team of people who does the marketing for our products. And here, moreover, the base is that, we are getting into the retail actually. Because, and this is which we have designed the products in the part of the budgeting as a low cost of the products, and which we are targeting the products to be sold in the 3-tier in the India states actually.
So you want to...
So to initiate...
You want to sell your branded products in India, right?
Yes. Initially we will be starting with India because the India and the China is one of the competitive plays, and the international people are trying to come and land in India and trying to do already you may aware that all the big brands have been coming to India, like a Tommy Hilfiger, Calvin Klein, Guess.
What kind of products do you want to sell in India? Is it women's, men's, kids? What kind of
It's
stuff?
only men's. It is only men's actually. If you look, once we just complete the slide by slide, I have given in that one actually.
Okay.
So this, yeah. The first slide, if you don't mind, can you just go back? This is the sales target which we are talking about, the first phase, where our total sale focusing more into the exports. The reason is that, to inbuild the products, the base, the selling point, it takes a lot of time. And to time, we want to introduce the manpowers, like rightly what you said on the expertise, like marketing people, finding out the franchises and, to get into. So it takes, our focus of a business on initially first 2.5 years will be more into the exports and the stock lots, the exports of the apparels. And the 30% will be more into the retailing part, which is slowly we will be having our selling development of the products as well as the marketing the products as well, and just getting into the opening the stores actually. Next slide, ma'am. So in the first 3 years, we talk about the profit margins, GP, which we talk about 24 and 29, 24% into the chain stores. E-commerce, we talk about 29%, shop-in-shop about 47%, and made-to-order about 52%, and the stock lots are about 66% actually. Next slide, ma'am. So the third here, where we focus into the once we establish our base with the products, the brands and the stores, our more focus will be into the chain stores, where our sales, which we count into the 43% of the chain store sales, and 19% will be onto the shop-in-shop, and e-commerce, it is a 16%. And made-to-order here we call as the made-to-order as the international marketing stores into the different countries like Dubai, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Singapore, coming to Europe. Europe we will be not able to because Europe has a different kind of thing. So, but we will be more into the Asian countries and the Middle East countries. So here we could talk about the stock lots.
Are you talking about your own brand, or are you talking about doing work made-to-order stuff for other brands?
On the second phase of the 3 years, it will be all our own brands.
Okay.
Next slide, ma'am. So here also the GP remains the same, the percentage, because we work out on the same percentage, which will be a sales of the products. Next slide. The milestone that we are targeting.
It doesn't really interest me to see your forecast. The more interesting thing is, how are you going to build your business?
Okay.
None of this.
No.
How you're going to build your business? How do you establish a branded product in the market? Who's going to do the design? What channels are you going to sell through? Exactly how do you go to market? That is the more interesting conversation here. Whether you're going to do 600 crores or 2 crores, it's irrelevant until we know how you're going to go to market.
Yeah. Can you just come for one page, friend, ma'am? Actually, just one page. Yeah. The retailing is the major part will be the focusing into the banner actually. The banner which we normally we call like a JCPenney, a Gap, or this is the kind of the banners normally people have over there. So that on the banner is...
It's not called banner, it's called a brand.
Brand we call the label, we call as a brand actually. Normally the stores which has been displayed with the boards and other things, we call as a banner. Maybe it is your technical word which you call as a brand.
It is not called banner in America.
Okay. So we say as a brand, so we call the brand as a store name will be a low price store. It will be because we are designing only for the men's, we call as a he actually. If future ones we go into the,
You there, Suresh? What's happening? All right, we'll give him a bit of time to get back. So meanwhile, folks, those of you who are on the call in the room, if you would like to ask questions, please feel free to use the public chat. So you need to set your chat to send to all participants. That way, all your questions will be visible to everybody.
Hello. Yeah.
Yes.
Hello. Sorry, ma'am. Yeah. Sorry, I just got disconnected.
Interest of making this interesting for our audience and not harp on stuff that are irrelevant for us right now. What are you trying to sell? From this slide that you have over here, are you trying to sell shirts?
No. We are trying to sell men's, the products, everything. Like you talk about a men's tees, men's shirts, men's trousers, jeans, men's shorts, boxers, everything related to the men's actually.
Okay. All right. And
the next page, if you go to the next, yeah, you can just find here the menswear, the merchandise, the basic item, boxer nets, ovens, socks, pair socks and wallets, belts, and non-stop fashionable is the trousers, denims, formal shirts and casual shirts, polo tees, graphics, all this kind of the products which we like to sell in.
And do you plan to sell with retail stores, or do you plan to sell into other people's stores? Do you have? See, I saw some images of your own stores. Are you trying to do your own stores, or are you trying to sell through other people's stores?
No. The major core will be for our own stores. But when we develop the products, we do not want to. We want to popular the brand. We want to get into the other stores also.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can see the pricings, which normally it is the budget stores which we talk about.
Okay. So
we called as a.
Let's just go to your questions, and I think we've spent enough time on your presentation. Everybody understands what you're doing. Go ahead and ask your questions.
Question is, ma'am, we are looking for the investors for our business.
You know, this is not the kind of business that gets investors without a validation. So if you want to If you want to get investors, you're going to have to validate the line. You're going to have to design the line. You're going to have to do a prototype store. You're going to have to develop a following for your business before somebody is going to invest in you, unless you have existing partners. You're a $2 million business. You have existing partners, right? You have people who are already working with you. In that pool, you need to find your investors. If you're looking for investors, you need to find your investors. Otherwise, you need to use the profits from your $2 million business and start prototyping this, developing one line of merchandise and start to bring this to market. And you could, conceivably, you could bring this to market through the e-commerce stores, or just work with a few stores and develop a line that will be sold through those stores. But you're going to need to start prototyping and getting merchandise into the market. Because you're saying you're going to have merchandise designed in Italy. Nobody has seen what you're going to design, or whether that has, whether consumers want that merchandise or not. From what I saw here in the designs, there's nothing differentiated about it, right? The kinds of stuff you are showing here, this is very average stuff. There are thousands of labels that are selling this stuff. So what is the competitive positioning of the brand? There's a whole big brand positioning exercise that's missing from here.
Okay.
And that's where I was asking you, do you have the expertise to do your own brand? It's one thing to, do custom development when somebody else is doing all that brand positioning work, designing work, and giving you projects, and you are designing products and fulfilling those orders. That's a very different kind of business than actually doing your own product, your private label product that goes into the market, in which case you need that brand positioning expertise, design expertise, and everything here. Because you can say that you're going to design merchandise in Italy. The Italians are designers. They're not going to position your brand. They're going to design what you're going to ask them to design. But who is doing the brand positioning?
Brand position we will be doing with our marketing people, actually.
Do you have brand positioning people? Outsourcing houses do not have brand positioning people. You're saying that you're going to do your marketing team knows how to do this. I don't have confidence that your marketing team knows how to do this. Typically, marketing teams of outsourcing houses do not have brand positioning expertise.
No, here we outsourcing, we talk about the productions actually. The productions, the outsourcing we are not talking, because the brand position, what we are talking is right, that we will be doing from our whole team actually, where we have our marketing team which already we have done, and where they go and try to gather orders from the different stores. But here we are going to go in a different manner, just go and market our products with the pricings and the quality.
Different expertise. And I don't believe production houses have that expertise unless you explicitly recruit that expertise. Have you recruited a brand positioning person for your business?
No, that will be we will be doing on the online courses on the down the line and 6 months time or 1 year's time. Because first we want to basically we want to start as you said rightly model store we have to set. Then later on we will be calling for the
brand positioning person or brand positioning expertise is not going to be a success.
Come again, ma'am?
A model store, if you do a model store without a brand positioning person's expertise driving the model store, is not going to be a success. You need brand positioning expertise to do a model store and to design the line that is going to go along with that brand.
Okay.
So in everything that I've heard here, if you want to do your own branded merchandise, go find brand positioning expertise. Because from what I've heard, there's also a feeling of assessing a business. Based on the assessment that I just made of your business, I do not believe you have any brand positioning expertise. And without that,
obviously not at all. You're right.
So without that, I would not go try to do a model store and all that. You're going to waste a lot of money.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect, ma'am.
Right.
Thank you.
I'm sure your back-end work is, you have a much more thorough understanding of how to do production, how to, fulfill orders and all of that stuff. I'm sure you know how to do that, but because you've built a $2 million business, fulfilling orders, you know how to do that, but the front end of how to market a brand, how to position a brand, how to develop a line that goes with that brand, that expertise is missing from this business. Okay?
Perfect, ma'am. I will just follow your session and I'll try to do it.
All right. Super.
Thank you.
So folks, line up your questions. We will do open Q&A in a bit. I will spend a few minutes explaining to you how to use the 1M1M program. And Rob, you can definitely, take notes on this segment so that you can figure out how to put one foot before the other. And that, by the way, is the philosophy of the program. Wherever you are in your cycle of developing your business, our goal is to help you put one foot before the other and get things moving and get things to the next stage. Every entrepreneur in their history faces roadblocks. And some of those roadblocks are because of your own knowledge gaps. Some of those roadblocks are because of what's happening in the market, what's happening in the competitive landscape, etc. There's all sorts of roadblocks that come on the way of entrepreneurs. And our commitment to you is to help you remove those roadblocks and, chart your course forward. So if you like, by the way, what we are doing, please do refer the program to entrepreneurs. And we are looking for serious entrepreneurs who actually want to follow through on building a business. And it's a multi-year process. Building a business is not an overnight affair at all. So if we are looking for entrepreneurs who are really serious entrepreneurs who want to put in the work to build a business over many, many years. And as you know, our goal is to help 1 million of you cross over the 1 million mark and hopefully way beyond that, build $1 trillion in global GDP and 10 million jobs. Here are the resources that you can lean on. We have a very powerful blog that has tons of material that you can learn from that is free of charge. We also have been publishing the Entrepreneur Journeys book series that synthesizes specific lessons in the entrepreneur journey by inviting successful entrepreneurs to teach their lessons from the trenches. So the entire series is based on stories of successful entrepreneurs who have come here and shared their journeys and their lessons, and then we have synthesized some of that to help you, learn from their journeys. We have published so far 8 books. We have this fall, we have 3 more books coming, one a month actually, and at this point we have switched to doing e-books only. So if you just go to Kindle, Amazon Kindle, you will find all the books, and the Kindle app on any of the smartphones will also give you access to these books, and they deal with specific topics. If you're looking to learn bootstrapping or if you're looking to learn positioning, these are cornerstone strategies in how we teach you to build businesses. We have volumes dedicated to those topics. If you're working in India, for example, we have a book that's focused on the Indian ecosystem. If you're trying to bootstrap a product using services, right now we just talked about an apparel product that is trying to bootstrap a branded product company using an outsourced product development shop. So bootstrapping using services is a phenomenon that we also work on, and there's a book specifically on that topic. Women entrepreneurs is a target audience that we work with. We have a book called Feminine Feminism addressing that audience. So each of these books address a specific audience, and you're welcome to check them out. It's a very reasonably priced series. That's the blog, by the way. This is what it looks like, the site. There are tons of videos that will answer your, frequently asked questions. We have done numerous of these free roundtables, and pretty much every week we are here offering you a roundtable where you can come and talk and discuss your strategy, and we'll be happy to help you along. We've had thousands of people attend these sessions, and obviously people are finding it valuable. So be sure to take advantage of this program. The free public roundtable page on the website is where you'll find the schedule and the registration pages. So please go ahead and book your slot if you want to present in one of the upcoming sessions. In addition, we have a $1,000 annual membership fee premium program. And in the premium program, we offer you extensive methodology guidance. We have a very powerful curriculum. I'll talk about that in a moment in more detail. We help you with business development, introductions to customers, channel partners, whatever you are looking to connect with, even advisors. We have similar sessions like these that are for our premium members only. Those are our private roundtables. And today, everybody in the program, everybody who presented are free users. They're not premium members. The premium members mostly use our closed roundtables. We also help you with financing. If your business gets to a point where you are ready to talk to investors, we will be happy to help you with that financing round, introduce you to investors, help you negotiate and all of that. And we have a lot of clout in the media, which we put to work on your behalf so that you can get yourself out there. The $1 Million Club on the website is a set of case studies, introductions to a set of premium members who have reached $1 million in annual revenue. You can look at the 1M1M value equation also on the website that gives you an ROI analysis of our program, which is $375,000 plus 5 to 10% equity, and you get that value for just $1,000 annual membership fee. We also offer you lots of orientation material on how to use the program effectively. The 1M1M self-assessment is something that I strongly recommend you put your business plan through. These are the kinds of questions that you should be asking yourself, and these are the kinds of questions investors would be asking you. And I always suggest that you think of your business like an investor would look at it. You are investing your time, your energy, your savings, your emotions into your business. So you are an investor in your business. So you should think about it as an investor would. 1mby1m.com is the website. That's where you find everything. We have tons of information about what to expect from the premium program. So if you just dig around on the website, you will find video FAQs and pages of information which will help you evaluate if this program is for you or not. It is not for everybody. We focus on IT and IT-enabled services entrepreneurs only mostly. That includes, of course, e-commerce and mobile apps and all of that stuff, but we generally focus only on information technology and related businesses. If you're doing something that is more brick and mortar, if you're doing something that is biotech perhaps, or solar energy and so forth, that's not our sweet spot. So the curriculum is delivered in case studies and video lectures. We have had over 600 successful entrepreneurs come and share their journeys with us, and we use that to help you learn through their experiences, and those case studies basically powered this program. And we have also developed video lectures for each module so that that synthesizes those lessons. And we offer you both the video lectures and the raw case studies so that you can learn from both. Because it's always very helpful to actually read the journey of how somebody built something from nothing. And it's both inspiring and educational. So we have made a very distinct effort to take you through those journeys. It kind of simulates the experience of actually sitting down with an entrepreneur who has built a substantial business and having a cup of coffee. And what's really exciting is many of these entrepreneurs that you will encounter in these series have gone on to build very large companies and some even billion-dollar businesses. So it's a powerful, really powerful curriculum that will definitely make you a far more sophisticated entrepreneur than where you started when you get into the program. So the curriculum organization is as follows. We have a core curriculum which covers bootstrapping, positioning, market sizing, customer validation, financing, customer acquisition, and team building. There are over 100 hours of material here. So you can do the whole curriculum, you can do it in bits and pieces as you're dealing with topics that you're trying to learn. That's up to you, and you can do it entirely at your own time. So that is the asynchronous version of the learning. We also have electives. Those are Web 3.0 and e-commerce, cloud computing and business solutions, outsourcing and consulting, mobile and social apps, healthcare IT, online education, gaming. We've just introduced a couple of new modules. One is called Building Unicorn Companies. These are billion-dollar exit companies. And then we've also introduced a module for women entrepreneurs who have their own set of issues that they're dealing with. So it's a very powerful curriculum that is getting enriched on a regular basis. Every month we add new material. Our methodology is lean, capital efficient, bootstrap startups. This doesn't mean that we are against venture financing. We have lots of companies, we are going the venture financing route, they are getting financed and so forth. But the market is such that you're going to have to follow this lean, capital efficient, bootstrap startup mode of business building, even if you do raise financing later on. So the philosophy is bootstrap first, raise money later, build up your funding credentials, and then you would be able to attract financing. So we have to teach you how to navigate that bootstrap phase, and we do teach you that. Now this page is accessible from the press button on the top right corner of the website, and this exposes you to the kind of coverage we generate for our premium members. It's very, very difficult, for small young companies to get any exposure in the media. The media kind of ignores small companies. They do start covering you when you have big funding announcements to make. So given that situation, we use our clout in the media to help you get coverage. And coverage is important. You have to let the world know that your product or your service exists so that the customers can come to you. We also do the same thing with our social media channel, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. We have massive presence in social media, and we let you use our presence in social media so that you can ride on top of that to get your messages out there. We let you publish on the blog. Our blog is also widely read, so it has very good search engine rankings. So getting featured there would also help you get yourselves out there. And if you're working on entrepreneurship development, any form, whether it's an online media or a development organization in some geography, some part of the world, you're welcome to become a partner of the 1M1M program. We do have a very nice affiliate program, and we pay 10% affiliate commission. So you're very welcome to use that as well. Okay, upcoming roundtables. These sessions, the free sessions, are August 14th and 28th. We have 1 week off this summer, and that's the 21st. So please feel free to use them. And in September, October, we are back every week, basically, with roundtables. Vision India 2020 is an ideation book. If you're working in India or in any of the emerging geographies and you want to look at, ideas that will help you build companies, Vision India 2020 is a book that is written as if we are sitting in 2020, having built $45 billion companies. And it's quite a powerful ideation and visioning exercise that you are welcome to steal ideas from, borrow ideas from and morph them, but however you want to play it. It's basically something that will help you, jigger your brain so that you can come up with things that are exciting and interesting. We have a 1M1M Incubator in a Box program, and that enables companies, investors, governments, academic institutions, entrepreneurship development organizations to start their own incubator or to extend the services of their own incubators to develop a really deep partnership with Silicon Valley, which is where we are headquartered, and we have a very deep relationship with the Silicon Valley ecosystem. These are some of our more recent books. You're very welcome to try those. And now we are ready for Q&A. So please feel free to use the public chat for Q&A. And also you can call in, and the number and instructions are on your screen. So I got a private message from Jan Coral asking if Rob is a premium member. Rob is not a premium member. Helene Treitman says, in terms of outsourcing, until now I have worked with a part-time virtual assistant a few hours a week. Now I'm thinking of going with an outsourcing firm because of the much wider range of skills in the talent pool. Could you say what is the difference between Odesk and Elance? Well, Odesk has a lot of individual people, although it does have agencies as well, small businesses. Elance is mostly small businesses, small agencies. Anybody else? Questions, comments, introductions? This is also a networking time, so if you like, please introduce yourselves in the public chat. Tell us where you're joining from, what kind of project you're working on, how did you hear about 1M1M, so forth and so on. And if you're planning to call in, also let us know in public chat that you're calling in. Anybody? Jitendra Kanoja, working as a product manager at Ugam Solutions. Jitendra, where are you dialing from? Partho Mandal, learningandcreativity.com. Where in India are you? Jitendra Partho, where in India are you dialing from? Jitendra is in Mumbai. Partho is in New Delhi. Anybody else? So while you're introducing yourself, I would like to introduce you to Irina Patterson on the 1M1M team. Irina is the person that you should contact if you would like to ask questions about 1M1M. Her phone number is 786-301-2456. Her email is irina@1mby1m.com, and her Skype ID is irina_Patterson. Irina is wonderful. She's extremely patient, and she will be happy to get on a call with you and help you navigate the 1M1M program. Mamta Sonwalkar is in Boston. Can you talk a bit on going to market? No, I cannot. If you want to learn how to go to market, please join the program and go through the customer acquisition module. It is, many, many hours of material that we have created that I cannot cover right now at this session. This is not a topic that I can cover in 3 minutes, Mamta. That's just not how we work. If you want to learn go-to-market strategy, use the curriculum to learn go-to-market strategy. We have extensive coverage of the subject, and many, many of our entrepreneurs are learning through that process. Is there anyone on the call who wants to ask questions? No. Okay. That's it. Nobody else wants. I see a lot of other people in the room. You're not introducing yourselves. Questions, comments? Okay, you have a question. Go ahead. Steve Biondi, thank you for this webinar. I apologize if I missed this. How did you get your start and expertise in entrepreneurship? Steve, I started my first company as a graduate student at MIT. I was a computer scientist. I was not in any kind of business or entrepreneurship program. I just wanted to start a company. So I was a graduate student at MIT in the mid-90s. And in 1994, if you may recall, the internet started kind of like 1994. Netscape went public, and we were kind of swept up in this incredible wave of innovation and entrepreneurship. So those of us who were at the vantage points or strategic points where we were able to ride that wave had incredible careers through that mid-90s to late 90s period. So I did 3 startups between 1994 and 2000. And the latter 2, the first one was not venture funded, although I did raise friends and family financing and some government financing. But the second and the third company, the second one was later in the 90s decade, and the third one was in 1999. I raised venture funding for all of them. 2 of the companies were acquired. So I just learned by doing. And then in 2000, when the market crashed, the dot-com market crashed very badly. You probably, I don't know what age group you are, but in 2000, basically the dot-com crash happened. And I did 10 years of consulting after that in the business. So I worked with a lot of both entrepreneurs, venture capitalists, as well as large companies through the 2000 decade, and started 1M in 2010. Jitendra is a victim of the dot-com crash. We all have been victims of the dot-com crash in some form or the other. Those of us who were around and doing entrepreneurship in 99, 2000, many of us have had to deal with the dot-com crash. Mamta Sonwalkar is asking, besides online materials for the premium program, what else is available? Is there one-on-one sessions? There is no one-on-one session. The format that you saw here is the same format in which we do the interactive coaching, but it is a private session in that only premium members are allowed in those sessions. We only do roundtable mentoring. For a $1,000 annual membership fee, you cannot get one-on-one sessions. 1 hour of my time is $750. You can get one-on-one sessions, but you have to buy it with a $750 fee. And we don't recommend it. We want you to use the full 1M program. You will learn a lot through that. And that should be enough to give you what you need. You're most welcome, Steve. Anybody else? Mamta Sonwalkar, how many people have gone through this and what has been the success? Mamta, you can go to the website. We have published the $1 Million Club. There are lots of case studies over there. We do not give you numbers. The $1 Million Club, I showed you the link. Maureen, can you put the $1 Million Club link in the public chat? You can go look at that. We have companies that have raised huge amounts of money, small amounts of money, companies that have bootstrapped. All of those variety of successes are published there. You can look at it and get familiar with the kinds of successes and the kinds of case studies that we work with. Anybody else? Questions, comments? Introductions? There you go, Mamta. Maureen has put the link to the $1 Million Club. You should go through that, and it should give you a visceral feeling of the kinds of entrepreneurs in the program. Anybody else? Questions, comments? No? All right then, we're going to get on with our day's work. All of us have, being entrepreneurs, all of us have tremendous amounts of work to do. So I look forward to seeing you back here next week. And please go ahead and explain or reserve your slot for either next week or the last session in August. And then if you want September, you will have the September registration links available very soon. Mamta says, I learned a lot from your side, especially execution and strategy, but it's saying one thing and really doing it right. Yes, and that's the philosophy of the program. not only do we do one thing and really do it right, we want you to do the same. The entire structure of the program is going to force you to be extremely disciplined about your strategy as well. So we spend a lot of time helping you fine-tune your strategy. Once that strategy is fine-tuned, you absolutely stick to that strategy and don't go here, there, and everywhere. When you make strategic pivots, you do that consciously. Like, let's say you're working on one segment and you're marketing to one segment, and then you want to open up another segment. That is a strategic decision that you need to make very consciously and very diligently in a very, very disciplined way. It may be difficult, but this is the only way you can be successful, Mamta. A small company with limited resources cannot go spray and pray. Spray and pray in our world, in our community, in our value system is a crime. Spraying and praying is a surefire way to fail in building a business. We're not going to let you do that. You have to focus and you have to execute in a very, very disciplined way. And we do too. We execute, if you look at our website, it is very steady and very consistent. That doesn't mean that we are not improving and we are not introducing nuances, but it's a very strategic process of introducing those nuances, not some haphazard, we try a bit of this and we try a bit of that. The vision, the strategy is very clear. Anybody else? All right, folks, let's get going. We will meet you back here, hopefully, next week, and look forward to working with you further. Bye. Take care.